we've got our spray adhesive, and we're going to spray the bottom of the van and let both surfaces dry for a bit, and then put our insulation layer down so it's covering the base of the van before we put our carpet layer on. More spray adhesive today, putting a waterproofing layer on the floor, and then we're going to start doing insulation on the walls. So today we are putting insulation behind the walls in the cavities. So we've got polystyrene over there and a bit of foam which was already in there, and on the other side same thing, polystyrene where we don't have it, and foam, and then we're going to cover the rest of the outside all the way along and around the wheel arch with this insulation cover foil stuff. So Janine's working very hard there, and then we've got to do the roof, which is another big job, but it's a Saturday so no work today. This is my reversing camera shelter, and I just made it out of some scrap sheet metal I had lying around at work, and this will go onto the back of the van, similar fashion to that, which will help protect our little camera, which is just mounted up there from the weather. Even though the camera is IP67 water resistant, we thought it'd be best for the longevity of it just to mount it under a little shelter. And then at the back we'll have to drill a hole through the air conditioning unit fiberglass and through the back of the van, and the cable will come through there, and once the cable's through, connect into this line and then a wireless transmitter, and the wireless transmitter needs power from the reverse, which I've already tapped into at the back, which I'll show, and an earth, which just goes to the body of the van. And then the transmitter transmits to the front of the van, where we have the receiver, which is plugged into 12 volt, which will only turn on when you select reverse. So we decided to go that way instead of running wires all the way from the back to the front. It saves a bit of hassle, so I hope it works. So this is our reverse camera, and I put silicone all around the outside so that no water can get down onto the camera itself. And where the wire goes back into the car, I've got conduit around the hole I drilled, and I've siliconed all inside and the outside so that no water, if it drips down, can actually get inside the vehicle. And then I've just got to connect that up, and that'll be ready to go when the car's going. So it's been a little while since we've done anything on the van, and we had a lot of rain in the meantime, which gave us a good opportunity to find some leaks. Now we had 2 leaks from the roof, one from the corner, the back left-hand corner of the sunroof, which is located about the middle of the van, and one leak which was a little bit more sinister from the corner of a seam. The corner of a seam that goes along the roof, and I found a spot in the actual air conditioning unit where that might be coming from. So I've sealed that up, and so far it's so good. And now is the time to find leaks rather than once we've got everything else done. So last time I built a extended floor to fill in the gaps on the side of the van so that we can utilise as much floor space as possible. Just used some marine ply, 12mm, and made these little shelf type things. And also it'll be good for if we have to put some camping stuff in here, or things that we can access from outside, or shoes or something like that. So there's one on this side, and we've done one on the other side too, which we'll go around and have a look at. And we made this one so it's the right distance for our little step, which was already installed. So we can still use our factory step, and yeah, just a bit more floor space there. Another thing that I've done lately is put the Anderson plug wiring for the solar panel from the roof There was already an antenna in the top, so I just ripped that wire out because we're not going to be using it. Use that hole and then silicon this in. So it's been raining, so it's been a good test to see if this is sealed, and it has. So we have our waterproofing layer down, and we just stuck that on with a little bit of spray adhesive. And next is underlay, and then we can put our floorboards on finally. So we've put our underlay down and put our tongue and groove floating floor down, and the flooring isn't completely finished all the way back to the end of the van, but I just wanted to show you that we've done this section and also put a bit of this angle on here, just with some screws that were similar colour and just countersunk so that they don't stick up. So I think it's looking pretty neat and nice. And next thing is just putting some little angle brackets on the sides of these extra shelf units here. And then we have a sturdy extra base that sticks out a bit further, so we have more floor space in the van. And then going to be working at the solar panel mount. I made up a few brackets, but we've just got to line them up and drill a few more holes. These are steel brackets that I have cut up and drilled to mount our solar panel to the existing mounts to the roof. There was existing mounts for lights or something like that, and I just need to get someone's hand to put them up on the roof to measure up the last holes. So Janine's here, and she's going to help me do that. So this is the top of the van, and it's the front, the sunroof, and the idea was to make a bracket so that we can still open the sunroof. And there's existing brackets like that and like that at the back and a bit further at the front. I've just made this angle up with holes for the mounting points already on the solar panel. Yeah, and then this back one's mostly made up. I've just got to modify it a little bit because this middle bracket here is sticking up in the road. I've got these 4 rubber washers which are encapsulated by their own little metal washers, and these are going to go in between the mounts of the solar panel. So there's 4 mounting points on the solar panel, 1, 2, and then on the other side of the panel 3, 4. And they're just going between to take up any vibration so that you don't get any knocking or rattling between the solar panel when you're driving. And these are just spare ones around the workshop. So I think anything will do, but these are already ready to go. So.